Hi, I'm Satori. I'm from Los Angeles, and now I live in New York. I'm in the revival cast of West Side Story.
I'm Jackie. I'm originally from Huntington Beach, California. And for the past season, I've been dancing with Ballet Met in Columbus, Ohio.
I'm Paulo Hernandez-Farella. I also live in New York. I dance with Ballet Hispanico, and I'm about to start my second season with them. I signed my contract for my second year.
I am Stephanie Dai. I am from Fremont, California. Right now, I dance in Los Angeles with the TL Collective while freelancing on the side.
I'm constantly learning rep and juggling about at least 10 different pieces. Since I started at BH, I've learned over 25 full-length works, and that's been a lot, clearly. USC really helped me prepare for that. No other school that I know of has as much repertory as USC does. We were allowed to join in a lot of rehearsals that we weren't necessarily cast in if we asked the choreographers to do that. We learned a ton of rep, and we were constantly learning repertory, rehearsing repertory, and juggling at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 different pieces a semester while also doing our academic schoolwork. So that really prepared me for at least where I am in my career now.
Just the teachers, the faculty at Kaufman that try to open your mind when it comes to the possibilities of a dance career post-grad. Outside of that, I think the most important thing for me was connections, where my 2 most main employers post-grad have been classmates and a choreographer that I met through the school. So that was a huge factor in what I'm doing now, is building those relationships that only Kaufman can kind of provide, where they do a beautiful blend of concert and commercial.
Like being at USC, being the first class, learning a million things all the time, having a really packed schedule, made us super resilient. So I definitely needed that going into making a new Broadway show that has been and will continue to be very challenging. But I had the tools to get through that as a dancer and as a person, how to communicate myself, how to handle being in rehearsals that are challenging, handle being in a process. We spent a lot of time in process, so I think that became a very valuable skill for me.
Oh man, our last BFA performance at the Bing, that was really sweet. Yeah, just to give it all we got on that stage. Felt really great. Just to celebrate all the work that we did in the past 4 years, and that's culminated into the rep that we put on the stage. Yeah, it was just a beautiful family moment that we had at Kaufman, and it was super duper sweet, and I wish we could perform at the Bing again someday.
Obviously, like Steph said, our last performance was it was unreal, and all the trips and performances, of course. But I think my favorite moment in the studio was when Bill Forsyth was coaching us for our performances at the Joyce. And it was just such a cool experience for me, and I know for so many people, because it was less of like, okay, you're gonna do this and this is how it's gonna be, and more of like a conversation about, okay, well, how could we bring this piece in the middle, somewhat elevated, his iconic ballet, to the next level? Like, what are your ideas? What are your thoughts about that? And I think that rehearsal for me and that experience was just the epitome of Kaufman. It's not black and white. Like, dance isn't black and white. There's so much gray area, and there's so much room for conversation and development. And I just remember it being it was like a therapeutic and beautiful experience in the studio with just such an incredible artist.
It was really hard. I went to 13, 14 different auditions, so I was gone like every weekend at the end of first semester and the beginning of second semester senior year. So that was really stressful because I didn't get a single yes until my second to last audition. So it was kind of daunting, kind of as the year was progressing. But as a professional, that transition was really, really difficult actually, in the sense that I graduated, moved from LA to New York, and then started a new job all in the same month, and then started performing 3 weeks later from all of that. So it was a really stressful period of time. But once I started at BH, it went amazing after that, because, you go in with the confidence and you go in with all the training that you had, and then you start getting cast in things and you start performing all over the world. As a professional now, I've performed Forsyth and performed Nacho Duato and performed Annabelle Lopez pieces. And these were not things I was expecting to do my first year in any company. And I've performed it all now, and I have that training from USC to give me that confidence to move forward and continue my career.
Well, okay, again, the audition process was so stressful. Like Paulo, we were gone like every weekend, and there were sometimes we would be in 3 states in one weekend, and it was so stressful, and you're just constantly worrying about the yeses and the nos. But ultimately, I could say we were all prepared for everything that was coming our way.
Oh my gosh. It was a 180. If I did not go to Kaufman, I would not be in the job that I am in now. I would not be who I am, that I am now. It changed completely. I couldn't have seen this coming at all. Maybe I could have seen being on Broadway, but not with the sort of self-awareness that I have now. Not doing the sort of things that I'm doing on Broadway, with contemporary improv sort of thing. Never in a million years.
Yeah, the nice thing about USC is that I, at school, went through all the other options. So I had all the time to consider, well, maybe I don't want to be a professional dancer. Maybe I want to do this instead. Maybe I want to go into this field. Gave me the freedom to think about all the options that were available to me. I don't think I'd be a professional dancer if I didn't go to USC. I was already struggling with it when I was going into college. I was worried about what I wanted to be doing and where I wanted to see myself. And then I was like, oh, well, now I really want to be a ballet dancer. Now I don't want to be a dancer at all. And now I ended up at a company where we do all kinds of rep at all different times. And USC really prepared me and gave me all the knowledge I needed to be in a repertory company where we perform 3 different pieces that are completely different. And I'm now self-aware of that. I don't think I would be as comfortable and happy and as successful in my job if I hadn't gone to USC.
I am kind of doing what I wanted to do when I went in terms of freelancing. I'm in LA. I have a foot in concert. I have a foot in commercial. But beyond that, I have such a wider scope and awareness of the longevity of my career, knowing what else I can do after, say 20 years down the line when I can't dance anymore, be it choreography or arts administration. So I feel like Kaufman both boosted me to kind of the general dance area that I wanted to be in after graduating, but also just blew out what I thought it could be.
On top of getting my BFA, I also got my minor in nonprofits, and then I also got my master's in public administration because USC has accelerated master's programs. The biggest thing is strategic thinking. Realistically, if you want to pursue other academic interests while you're also getting your BFA, you really need to have that strategic mindset. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So it's really being on top of this is what I love, and it makes sense why I'm doing this. That's the only reason I continued with it, because now as a professional, I know how the public sector works. I know how to talk to my board members. I know how to talk to AGMA, which is the union I'm a part of. I now know how to fundraise. I know all these different tools because I started it from the get-go, and I'm also performing at least 3 different pieces a night. So all of that together was very complimentary, making sure you know what you want and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons and because you love it. Because at the end of the day, too, the academics at USC are what you make out of it. You can take everything you want and get a million degrees, or you can also get your BFA, and that's amazing, and not really have to do a minor or things like that, and really take classes just like one-off electives in different schools to see what your other interests are and where they lie.
Don't feel like a pressure to have to do a minor. Like, academics are at USC are rigorous no matter what, all of the requirements you have to fill. But I know a ton of us didn't end up having a minor, but still took classes all over. Like, I took an education class, and it helped me so much actually with my senior project, which was coming up with an elementary school dance program in Orange County in California. I took a piano class. I took weightlifting, like all this just random stuff. And you know what? I enjoyed every single random class that I took at USC, and I gained valuable experience that would help me down the line. But yeah, I think if you're not really interested in what you're learning, it makes it really difficult to get it all done, especially when dance really is your main focus and being a BFA is your main focus. So just to really prioritize things and say, okay, this is something I really want to do, so I'm going to put the energy into it.
I really liked my GE classes. I got lucky, so it was a pleasure to have that balance, have rep, and then right after rep, I write an essay, and then I know I have rehearsal later that evening, so then I go into rehearsal. I honestly really liked academics at USC. I left feeling really warm, especially like my gender studies class got my feet wet in the queer community, and it was just like great. So I feel like, yeah, I have fond memories and feel connected to those professors still.
The beauty of Kaufman, at least for me, was my employers are my best friends from Kaufman. So Jordan and Aiden, they hired me for their latest show, and it was just so beautiful to work with your friends. And also, you really can't escape Kaufman, especially if you're in LA. Like, they'll just show up at the shows and stuff that you're doing. So it's really, really nice for them to continue to support you even after you've graduated.
To have that camaraderie with, literally, I feel like if I was with anybody from our class, anybody from the class below us, it would just feel like family. And I mean, I have conversations with people, like a current sophomore will text me and just like ask for advice about something, and just, I don't know. It's like an unexpected family in a way, because of course you have those people that you know you're going to be close with forever, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm actually, like, I have this huge family that just like keeps growing, and the love keeps growing, and it's so special, and just something that like you can't, I just don't understand how you could replicate it anywhere else, really. It's really special.